So look, bro. You like that? Like DJ Ghost 100? Damn, man. Oh, this shit opens up on its own. This shit. Anyway, yo. So, bruh, I'm gonna tell you like this. It's for people who, could want a little bit, might could want to know a little bit about your boy, right? So peep game. Your boy is not a street nigga at all. I ain't never ran these streets. I have never put in work for no gangs, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been about that life. Period. Oh, damn. Okay. Now, with that being said, though, you know what I'm saying? My family is from the ghetto of East Oakland. And my motherfucking, I was raised by my father and my mother, who both were, let's just say, had their issues. Both of them were drug addicts and criminal types, unsavory types. My family tree is such that I ain't never been no street nigga, but I am, from the hood. You could be from the hood and not be no street nigga, you know what I'm saying? I didn't necessarily have the best family structure, or the best family upbringing, you know what I mean? From the time I was young, my pops was going in and out of jail, and when those occurrences would happen, my mom would inevitably, sell our shit, sell the shit that we had for drug money, for drugs, and having to care for my mom when I was 4 years old, caring for my mom who was basically hallucinating because of a bad trip, or because she had been up for too many days, took some bad drugs or whatnot, and I'm over here putting cold rags on her head, telling her it's okay, comforting her while I'm 4 or 5 years old, scared of shit. My dad's in jail, I'm caring for her, and it's supposed to be the other way around, really. First of all, looking in closets and shit, because my mom was over here trying to tell me to look for her dead father, that she kept seeing her dead father in this closet or this or that, and watching my mom basically squat and piss, on the stoop of my steps and in the house, and protecting my mama from almost getting raped from this dude jumping on dude's back. Man, get the fuck off my mom, you motherfucker, at like 7 years old. Starting to hit him in the head, and he just throws me off because I'm just a little dude, little nigga, I'm nobody. He just chucks me off because I ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? 5 years old, hearing, my dad was so loaded and so drunk that he almost killed my mama. He shot at her with a sawed-off shotgun and almost blew a hole in her the size of Mayberry, boy. You know what I'm saying? This shit, that man... Lucky she had an angel that day, Her friend came over, and my dad was so fucked up that he literally was about to kill my mom in front of this girl, in front of this lady. He didn't give no fucks. He drew down on her, pointed the gun at her, drew down on her, and pulled that motherfucking trigger, nigga. He pulled that trigger, bruh. When he pulled that trigger, my motherfucking heart stopped, bruh. I'm keeping it 100. My heart stopped. My mom, I'm thinking my mom is gone, dusted, gone, dead. You know, my brother runs, you know what I'm saying? He's crying, he's scared. You know, we run upstairs and I'm holding him, consoling him, telling him, you know, it'll be alright, it's all good, whoop-de-whoop, it's cool, you know, it'll be okay. At 5, bruh. You know, and the friend had actually pushed the butt of the gun away when he pulled the trigger. So it blew a hole in the wall. Man, my dad took off. Cops caught up to him, and you know he woke up in jail the next morning not knowing what the fuck he was in jail for. He used to black out because he would drink and take hella pills and different drugs, and he didn't know what he was, you know what I mean, in there for. You know, fuck, having to jump out of 2-story windows to get away from my dad because he was on a hot one, you know, on the warpath, again, loaded, drunk, you know, mad as fuck at the world and just lashing out at the people around him, you know. You know, fast forward and shit, you know, my dad had actually gotten sober and cleaned up. I was so proud of him. You know what I'm saying? But shit, again, I still remember coming home from school, fucking seeing the cops put my dad in handcuffs, having to run up on him and give him a hug while they're getting ready to take his ass to jail. You know what I mean? Basically, you know, my dad used to sell pills, sell things to try to make money for the house. And, you know, one time one dude came over to the house and thought it would be a good idea to raise his voice in my house to my dad, and my dad was no joke. He was a real one. You know what I'm saying? He was a real one. Like I said again, he just had this trigger, this thing in his head would snap and trigger and flip, and he would just become a very violent person with no conscience, really, I guess is a good way to put it. You know, I had friends over, and he's over there going in his room, coming out, like, you know what I'm saying, like, with the pistol, and I'm over here like, damn, you know, he's getting ready to kill someone, you know, in front of me, in front of my friends. And you know, my mom, I don't forget what happened. I think I might have knocked on the bathroom door or something. You know what I'm saying? My mom flew out the bathroom, basically, you know, butt-ass naked underneath a bathrobe. The bathrobe's flopping open and shit. She's trying to basically get in between my dad and this dude. You know what I'm saying? Because he was getting ready to kill this dude. And I remember my dad telling the dude, and that's serious, you better not ever come back here. If you ever come back here, you better be prepared. And I knew what that meant. Like, he was telling the nigga, you better be prepared to either, you know, to die, nigga, or kill me. You better come back strapped, nigga, because I'm gonna kill you. And that shit, you know what I'm saying, stuck with me. You know, it went from that, bruh, like, seeing all that shit and, you know, hearing about his past and his stories and how his brother had been, you know, shot and killed, and you know, his nephew, my cousin, got shot and killed in East Oakland. And, you know what I'm saying, fast forward, you know, my dad actually ended up getting real sick. And he ended up, you know, for about 5-6 years just going downhill and deteriorating, and he ultimately, you know, transpired and passed away. And you know, I was still very proud of my dad. Don't get me wrong, I am not knocking my father. I have total respect for my dad. I love my dad to the fullest with all my heart. He was a good dude, a good-hearted dude. He just, you know, when you're raised in that environment, you know, in the ghetto in East Oakland, and you know, you learn to become a certain way for survival. Let's just say that. And my family is full of them ones. You know what I mean? My uncle had killed this dude out of self-defense, and fucked up part is he actually went to prison for it. Dude started stabbing him. He started stabbing dude in self-defense, and dude died. He didn't. He collapsed on my grandma's door, you know, bloody, with stab wounds, and he survived. But he's the one that ultimately died from being shot as well in a shootout. Hearing stories of my dad having shootouts with cops, you know, his fights he had stab wounds up and down his arm, his head, you know, his fucking back. It was crazy. Just hearing all them stories, man, I definitely made me realize the cost of that life. And as a young dude, it's very impressionable. Seeing all those things, it really made me know better. To be honest, it made me question that, and to know better than to want to be that way. Even though, you know, there's always a point in time in a young man's life when he wants to be just like his daddy. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be just like my daddy, and that would have been being this crazy, psychotic, you know what I'm saying, violent motherfucker. That was my interpretation of it. So I really wanted to be that way, and I strived to be crazy and psychotic. It makes, you know, people scared of me, because I'm a little nigga. So I needed to have that psychotic side of myself, and the funny part is, you know, I still have it. You know what I mean? I still have that psychotic side to myself, you know what I'm saying? I still have that side to myself. Everybody, you know, I have it, and you know, my family, many people in my family, we know that look, man. We got that, you know, we just know we have that side to ourselves. And you know, I had a twin brother, you know what I'm saying, and you know, he was a fucking genius. My nigga was so smart, so talented, you know, so smart, and it was so disappointing the way he chose to waste his life and not strive to be the best, you know what I'm saying, version of himself that he could be. It was extremely frustrating, because I knew how smart my brother was and how much potential he had. And you know, again, he ultimately, you know, died as well, after, you know, he had been shot twice in the chest. You know, it was basically a drug deal gone bad. He got shot twice in the chest, and actually, believe it or not, he pulled through that one. He pulled through that one, but real talk, he definitely. Hello, how you doing?
Great, thank you.
Good. Can I get 20 on 2, please? 20 on 2.
20?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. It's in here. Thank you. You have a good day.
You too, bye-bye.
Yep. That's fine. How you doing? Good. Anyway, so story short, bro. Hey, like I say, my family history is filled with that. Like my brother had been popped. My brother had been shot twice in the chest, and he actually survived. He was on life support for about 3 months. When he came back out of that, he ended up being in a wheelchair. He had to learn how to walk again, all that. He was paralyzed from like the knee down. He couldn't really feel shit, and his feet were numb. He couldn't do this with his foot no more. He got drop foot, some shit like that they call it. Long story short, with that, you know, he had to learn how to redo stuff. Both his lungs were punctured when he had gotten shot. He got popped right here and right here. He had survived, like I said, but you know, it took a toll on him. He became extremely obese, and as a result, he ultimately passed away a few years later from I don't know if it was heart failure or what, but come on already. Anyway, I don't know if it was heart failure or what that took him out, but at the end of the day, he passed away 5 years later, and I'm not gonna lie, that again, that was my twin brother. That shit fucked me up, threw me for a loop. And mind you, this was you know, he died in his sleep basically June 18th, and this was, I would say, about 7-8 months after my mother had passed away. I had actually found my mother laying face down, deceased. She had passed away earlier in that morning. I was with her that night and had dropped her off at her house. I had to break into her house for her actually that night. And you know, the funniest thing is, and it isn't even really funny, but I remember that night, you know, giving my mom a love, and I remember her in front of her sink. And I remember seeing her skin and how dry and scaly it was. And I remember saying to myself, if her skin is that dry and scaly on the outside, I could only imagine what her insides looked like. You know what I mean? And yeah, I went to work. I used to work these split shifts. And it was the first basically, and it was my job to give her money and you know, pay her bills, give her some money, whoop the next day, or you know, that day, and she would always be on me first thing. I was really surprised she wasn't on me. So I actually went to her house, knocked, nobody answered. You know what I'm saying? I went and drove around the normal spots where I thought she might be at. No one was around. Asked where they were. They couldn't find her. You know, I just had a bad feeling. Went back to the house, knocked on the door, no answer. And I ended up breaking, jumping her back fence and breaking in the back door of her house. And I found her laying face down. You know, face down dead, stuck in rigor mortis. I actually grabbed her and turned her over, and there was like this noise that came out of her her lips, her shit, this puddle of blood and just, you know, stuff had accumulated right there. And I almost for a second thought she was alive, but I don't know why that I would have thought that, because, you know, she was stiff as a board and cold as ice, so I really don't know why. For a split second, I thought she might have still been breathing. But man, that fucked me up, man. And again, you know, my brother passed away 7 months after that. And you know, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying this because I'm trying to figure out my lane in this, you know, YouTube, going live and channels shit, you know what I'm saying? And mainly it's for my own goddamn therapeutic purposes, I would say, because I really ain't got nobody to talk to. You know, the last couple years of my life, again, on my own tip, have been really fucked up. Because I've been dealing with this health shit that I have no idea what it is. And I just feel my body, you know, all these weird ass symptoms and all this weird shit, and the doctors can't tell me what it is, and it is so scary and nerve-wracking, and the doctors just thought I was crazy and full of anxiety and all this shit. And so, you know, I'm right now currently stuck in that, and I need an outlet. And I don't know if talking about it is going to make any difference at all. I really don't. I don't know if it's going to help heal me. I don't know if hearing my story and hearing what I've been through can strengthen or give strength to another motherfucker who's gone through similar trials and tribulations in their life. If hearing my stories and hearing that I can, you know, that I'm still here, and I'm, you know, a father of 3, you know, wonderful children, and I work every day, and, you know, I'm striving to be a real estate investor, flipping houses and shit. And again, I'm by no means anywhere near where I want to be. But speaking of family, there's one of my little ones and my lady. I'm gonna sign out for now because I'm home. I'm gonna be with my loved ones, but we'll pick this up again and we'll give you another story from my from my crazy ass family and my crazy ass history. But peace out, God bless, and I will catch you next time. We'll do this again. Peace.